We just had an enthralling World Cup in football at the end of 2022. Literally, the whole world was thriving with the excitement that this game brought along. With so many surprises, unexpected moments, or even nerve-wracking tensions among the supporters all through the game period. Football sure brings lots of joyful and memorable moments, breaking down walls of difference. Well, what about handball? Unlike football, you are supposed to play with your hands. Even though many people are not as familiar with handball as they are with football, handball still remains one of the most popular sports in the world. Considering its late arrival internationally, handball is gaining its place in people's hearts slowly. In the beginning, only a few countries participated in handball tournaments, but now that more and more countries are joining in, it's just a matter of time until handball becomes a buzzword in every corner of the world. Well then, let's get a look into the history of handball, how the first international championship came to be, and how they are faring currently. As far back in history as we can go, games akin to handball were played in ancient Greece, both as a form of entertainment at any social event, or even in a competitive setting like the Olympics. For the Greeks, handball served as a great form of exercise, as numerous depictions in the stone carvings or even on the walls of Amphoret prove. Following the Greeks, the games held on to traditional exercises, routines, or competitive sports among the Romans. Playing handballs thus has a long tradition going back several millennia, although the games were vastly different from the modern version of handball. It is easy to assume the general rule of thumb was to pass down the ball using hands to another team member to avoid the opposite team's interception, and hit the target to gain points. In general, different ball games were played following various sorts of rules, but the modern version, or what we call the international standard, that we have now was shaped by Holger Nielsen, an Olympic gold medalist who successfully codified the first sets of written rules in 1906 while he was working as a gym teacher in Denmark. As for how the game is played out at an international level, it takes place in a relatively moderately sized court with a dimension of 40 by 60 feet. Each end has a goal post at a certain height within the 20-meter width. The 6-meter area surrounding the goal post is reserved only for the defending goalkeeper. The opposition team has to score a goal while staying out of this range. Each team has about 12 members, where 7 play on the court at a time. This one-hour game is divided into 2 halves of 30 minutes each, with an interval in between. The players have to follow the rule of taking a maximum of 3 steps with the ball in 3 seconds. Otherwise, they will be disqualified. Initially, the game was played in 2 rounds, the preliminary round and the main round. As the participant groups were smaller, all the teams got to play in both rounds. So in 1999, there was a new edition of the knockout stage. Basically, the teams losing in the preliminary round will be disqualified, and only the winning team will play in the main round. However, Nielsen's rules were modified with different sets of variations and the addition of new rules along with the old ones. Mark Heiser, Erich Kanai, and Karl Schellens came up with these modern versions of the handball game in 1917. Since the modern version of handball has its origins after the finalization of its rules, 1917 is now officially regarded as the birth year of handball. Although similar types of games had historically been played among the Native American tribes, the Inuit in Greenland, in medieval France, in 19th century Denmark, known as handball, handball in Ukraine, or tobal in Germany. So familiarity with similar games like handball was always there. It's just that the professional setup happened in the year 1917. Even after that, there had been several upgrades to the rules by Karl Schellens following 1919. Between Germany and Austria, the first ever international championship game happened in 1925, following the rules of 1917. The first ever tournament set up a breakthrough for more countries to join in to participate in handball, and the International Amateur Athletic Federation nominated a committee with regards to field handball rules. As the newly modified and improved set of rules came along, the International Amateur Handball Federation was formed to organize outdoor handball tournaments internationally, first in 1928. At first, the handball tournament started out as an indoor game. In the Scandinavian countries, the game took several decades to flourish among the people. Thus, the handball tournament also evolved, and the game then re-emerged as part of the 1972 Summer Olympics in Munich. After that, in 1936, the first ever Summer Olympics tournament took place in Berlin. Then in 1938, again in Germany, the World Men's Handball Championship was organized. Only 4 teams participated in the game, all from Europe: Germany, Austria, Denmark, and Sweden, where Germany became the champion and Austria followed in the runner-up position. Since then, handball's popularity has grown immensely among many other European nations. As more and more people became interested in and accustomed to handball, the Amateur Federation changed its name, and in 1948 started a brand new journey with its new recognition as the International Handball Federation. Soon after its establishment in 1938, the International Handball Federation started organizing handball tournaments within a 3 to 4 year gap after the first successful program. After World War II, the time gap was reduced, and now the game is organized every 2 years on the world stage. For most of the game's competitive emergence, almost all the tournaments have been dominated by European nations. Up until now, 28 international tournaments have been held. Among them, France stands out as the top-ranked country, having won 6 times, whereas both Romania and Sweden share the second place with 4 wins each. Qatar was the first country to break this track record and managed to become the first non-European country to win the trophy in 2015. Currently, Denmark holds the champion title, as they have won the 3rd trophy in the 2023 tournament held in Poland and Sweden. Denmark, as of now, has the unbroken record of winning 3 consecutive tournaments. Over the years, the game has evolved, and with new rules and modifications and new countries joining in the tournament, it will surely be possible for the game to reach a whole new height. Well, handball, even though it is as exciting to play as football, certainly failed to reach the popularity levels of football. But gradually, more nations are getting invested in this game, so surely handball's popularity will become more widespread in the future. As of now, only in European countries is handball a renowned sport, with Germany being the top, as handball is their national sport. In Bulgaria and Poland, handball is also immensely popular. Through the Olympics, nations outside of Europe participate in this sport, and currently the international championship is played by almost 180 countries across the world, and nearly 19 million people take part in playing this game. What is your personal opinion about handball? Do you like to play this indoor game? Or maybe which game is your personal favorite, football or handball? Let us know in the comments section below. For more videos like these, please subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon for immediate updates. Until then, have a good time. We'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.